You ever had a complete stranger's kid demand you hand over your groceries? Like it's some kind of neighborhood tax. And then when you say no, the kid's mom calls 911 and accuses you of threatening him. That happened to me in a grocery store parking lot, just days after I moved into my new neighborhood. What she didn't know was that I'm the new police commander for the entire city. So, Act 1. The start of the conflict. My name's Desmond Carrington. I'm in my early 40s, and after 20 years working in law enforcement, I finally got promoted to police commander. With the new job came a new house in a Phoenix suburb. Quiet streets, manicured lawns, HOA included. My wife and daughter were excited to settle in, and I thought, hey, maybe this will be the calm we've been waiting for. Gee, but calm didn't last. It started in the parking lot of Fry's supermarket. I was wheeling a cart full of groceries, milk, bread, some barbecue stuff for the weekend when this kid, 16 or so, blocks my path. His name, I'd later learn, was Brandon Haskins, son of the HOA president. He smirked and said, "New guy, you're supposed to give up some of that tradition. Everyone contributes to the community." I blinked. "Excuse me." He pointed at my cart like he was choosing items off a menu. "Couple bags. Just hand 'em over." I couldn't help it. I laughed. "That's not a tradition. That's extortion." His smirk dropped. He muttered something under his breath and pulled out his phone. Minutes later, his mom stormed into the lot. Corinne Haskins, mid-40s, power blazer, HOA clipboard tucked under her arm even at a grocery store. She didn't ask questions. She didn't want explanations. She just marched up and barked, "What did you say to my son? How dare you intimidate him?" Before I could answer, she spun, phone in hand, and said loud enough for bystanders to hear, "Yes, 911. There's a man threatening my child in the parking lot." I stood there, stunned. Around us, shoppers slowed their steps. A couple pulled out phones to record. My wife and daughter were just stepping out of the store, eyes wide, frozen in confusion. And I thought, we've been here less than a week. Is this really how it starts? Go. Act 2, Escalation and the Breaking Point. The sirens came quicker than I expected. While we waited, Corinne kept raising her voice, pointing at me, feeding the crowd her version. "He followed my son. He scared him. This man doesn't belong here." My daughter clutched my arm. My wife whispered, "Let's just go, please." But we couldn't. Corinne had already spun the narrative. People stared. Some frowned at me like I was guilty already. My chest tightened. For a moment, I wanted to give up. I thought, maybe we don't belong here. Maybe this neighborhood won't ever accept us. Maybe walking away is better than dragging my family through this circus. Phew, that was the lowest point, standing there, branded as a criminal in front of my own kid. And then the patrol cars pulled in. Corinne lit up like it was Christmas. She waved frantically, practically jogging to the officers. "That's him. That's the man who threatened my boy. Arrest him." She pointed at me like she was unveiling a trophy. Brandon stood behind her, arms crossed, smug grin plastered on his face. The officers stepped out. Their hands rested on their belts. Corinne folded her arms, triumphant. But then the first officer's face shifted. Recognition. Respect. He straightened, nodded once, and said, "Good evening, Commander Carrington." The air changed instantly. The crowd went silent. Phones raised higher. Corinne's smile froze, then cracked. "Come, Commander," she stuttered. I returned the nod, calm, collected, but every word carried weight. "Evening, officers." The second officer turned to Corinne. "This man is our new police commander. You just accused him of a crime." Gasps rippled through the bystanders. My daughter squeezed my hand, eyes wide with pride now instead of fear. Corinne's face drained of color. Brandon's smug look vanished. The entire stage they'd built collapsed in an instant. Act 3, The Showdown and Justice. The officers asked me to explain. I kept it short, steady. "Her son demanded my groceries." I said no. That's the extent of it. Corinne jumped in, desperate. "He's lying. My son was..." But then a man from the crowd, someone I hadn't even noticed, stepped forward. "No, ma'am, I saw the whole thing. Your boy stopped him, demanded bags. All he did was refuse." Another shopper added, "I got it on video. He never threatened anybody." Corin spun toward Brandon. Tell them what happened. Brandon swallowed, eyes darting between the cops. The cameras. Me. His voice cracked. He just said no. I might have exaggerated. The crowd erupted in whispers. Someone muttered, so they lied. Another. She called 911 over nothing. One of the officers turned to Corin, voice firm. Filing a false report is a serious offense. You understand that? Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. For the first time, the HOA queen looked small, drowning under the weight of her own arrogance. I didn't gloat. Didn't raise my voice. I just spoke so everyone could hear. My family and I moved here for peace. But peace doesn't exist where people abuse power to intimidate their neighbors. That ends now. And with that, I turned to my wife and daughter. We walked away, leaving Corin standing alone in the parking lot, her son shrinking beside her, the eyes of the entire neighborhood burning into them. Final line. Real authority doesn't come from clipboards or loud voices. It comes from truth and integrity. Gee.